What's up YouTube, Demi here with a review, news update type video. There's been a lot of news updates posted by GG that I haven't gone over with you guys, so we're going to go over and do that together. The first post is all the unique items I've discovered so far. There's a lot of them. On's Contempt, -1 power charges, 12% of Phys, extra chaos, reduced extra damage from crits while you have no power charges, life attributes. I don't like it. Seems bad. Alright, next one. Balefire. I've heard about this one. It's pretty cool, actually. It gives you a level 25 Scorching Ray. And because the item grants the skill, it acts like Whispering Ice or Namu's Flame. Any gem you socket in this scepter supports the Scorching Ray. So level 25 Scorching Ray is the same as a level 21 with a level 5 in power. So this is effectively a 5.5 link or so when it comes to like total amount of damage. And it gives you maximum life, maximum mana on kill with some beam length. It also has the Divine Scorching Ray MTX inbuilt into it. So it's really cool for like a starter weapon or like a leveling weapon. You can also use it on a Righteous Fire build for your, you can have Scorching Ray 5 link plus a Calm's Heart instead of your 6 link in your chest. So I really like this item, it looks cool. Most of these do not have 3D art from what I've seen. And I don't think I loaded all of them, let me refresh the page. There's a lot of stuff to load on this page. There we go. Alright, third one, Arborix. We've talked about this one before. I think this is actually one of the best bows of the current patch because it's like 300 something DPS, decent crit, 2 additional arrows. So if you're playing like Barrage, Tornado Shot, Split Arrow, anything like that, like the additional projectiles is hugely powerful. You get Iron Reflexes for every 60 seconds for 8 seconds. You get more damage with arrow hits at close range with Iron Reflexes. So if you just want to get like a multiplier, you can take Iron Reflexes on the tree. Down here, you can just take this node and you'll get that bonus all the time. You'll also, you'll lose the attack, cast, movement speed when you do not have Iron Reflexes and Far Shot, but like, it's kind of a toss-up. You can go for this like super tanky close range type thing, or you can go for a variable damage and move type thing, or you can do, I guess, just those two things. I like this bow a lot though, I think it's pretty cool. Blood Bond, Bone Armor, level 15 Blood Offering, sorry. 20% max life, 1% minion regen, minion dodge. Yeah, this one sucks. Next one, Bubonic Trail. I don't know what this one actually does, the Death Walk skill, but it comes with 2 Abyssal Sockets. I think it's 1 to 2 Abyssal Sockets. Get damage for each type of Abyss Jewels. You can have, I think, like 6 or 8 of those. Movement speed, life. Death Walk, I'm assuming is something like Albareth's Hooves. I haven't seen this in game yet, or like an animation for it, so I'm not sure. We have talked about this one before. It's just a +2 Chaos Staff, sure. This one's new. I believe this is one of the Elder Drops. I think this thing is insane. It's got life, increased attributes, damage per 5 of your lowest attribute. So like, for example, if I had, I don't know, normal builds get like, I don't know, 500, 400 strength or so, 150 dex, 150 int. So that would give you 20 plus 10. You'd have 30%. Oh wait, 30% increased damage for each of these. And if you got them to be exactly the same, you could get 60% increased damage. And if you had a lot more than that, say you had like 500 in all stats, you get 100% increased damage from your belt. That's pretty good. You also get cannot be frozen if your dex is higher than int, cannot be ignited if strength is higher than dex, cannot be shocked if int is higher than strength. So again, if you make them all the same, you get all the bonuses at the same time. I really like this spell. I think it's cool. Corlito Signature, Diamond Flash. Take 30 casts per second, 25 chance of poison on hit. Critical strikes do not deal extra damage. Increased duration of poison to inflict. Perfect Agony. This is actually really good for a poison build, Perfect Agony. Perfect Agony is a keystone on the tree right here. It gives you modifiers to crit multi, also apply to damage multiplier for ailments at 30% of your value. So it's like you build the actual poison build, you go crit, but you don't build crit multi as much. Or I guess you still do, sorry. You build crit multi, but you like your damage comes from the dot. You're multiplying the damage with your dots. And this allows you to push that even further, along with a huge increased duration of poisons. 73% is a lot. Like that's more than an increased duration level 2020, so that's really cool. Gloomfang, Blue Pearl Amulet, mana regen, chaos damage leech, lose life, skills chain, projectiles gain chaos damage per chain. Why? I mean, I guess it's kind of cool that it's on a Blue Pearl Amulet base because we don't have a unique one of those yet, but I think this item is garbage. Next thing, Pure Talent, sorry. While your passive tree connects to a class's starting position, you gain AoE, attack damage, reduces life, movement speed, base crit, mana regen, penetrates, resists, all attributes. This is actually very interesting. You can only have one of these, but like, There's a potential to have a build that connects to like Scion, Templar, Witch, and Shadow, for example, like an elemental type build. I think the Castle Crit Discharge character would connect to almost all of these. You'd have to stretch a bit for this, but I mean, you could do it with some melee damage stuff pretty easily. And that would give me, let's see, you would get 0.5 base crit, 0.5% mana range. Okay, so which start would be the best, but 5% LE pen and 0.5 base crit is really good. And 25 all attributes, which is really nice as well. I think this has a lot of potential, especially for Scion type builds where you can pick the Scion Ascendancy to start at a different starting class. Like I could even go down to Marauder just to grab life nodes if I really wanted to, like pick up these life nodes and to get the 15% AoE bonus for being down. I know, I like that, that's cool. Next item, Dodre's skin. I believe this was spoiled a while back. Yeah, they spoiled the 3D art, but I'm not sure if they spoiled the item itself. Level 20 Blasphemy, level 20 Dodre's Effigy. Socketed curse skills are triggered by Dodre's Effigy when summoned. Socketed curse skills ignore curse limit. Normally your curse limit is 1. You can get up to like, I think, you can get a lot of curses. They're probably like 7. But if you put a, I don't know, if you summon the Dodre's Effigy, level 20 Blasphemy, and you put 6 curses in here, that means that the Effigy could hit 6 different curses at the same time. Interesting. I don't know if you would ever do that, but okay, sure. Grelwood Shank Eternal Sword. Fizz damage, attack speed, armor while stationary. 2 additional projectiles you've been hit recently, point blank, iron reflexes. That's weird for a melee weapon at projectiles, you might say, but Spectral Throw, Molten Strike, Lightning Strike. What else would there be? Frost Blades, Wild Strike. They would all get bonuses from that. And all of those you attack while standing still, so you get the iron reflexes, point blank bonuses, and projectiles. This is actually really interesting. How much DPS is that? Like 250 maybe? Let me do the math. Yeah, 277 DPS. For those of you that don't know, if you add minimum plus maximum divided by 2, multiplied by the attacks per second, that will give you your DPS. That's pretty good. What do you got here? In Presence. I think this is another Elder drop. Increased dot, added chaos life, chaos res, reduced despair mana reservation. Despair is the new vulnerability version of chaos, basically. Gain maddening presence for 10 seconds when you kill a rare unique. I have no idea what that does. But if it's just everything else, it sounds pretty good. 100% reduced reservation is kind of insane. Depending on what Maddening Presence does, that might be really good. We've already talked about Pillars of Ruin in a previous video, but it's just a unique map that you jump around a lot. Impulse's Broken Heart, I believe we've talked about as well. It gives you the, like, it's a chess piece. It gives you a bunch of shock bonuses. Shocked enemies you kill explode, dealing 5% of their maximum life as lightning damage, which cannot shock. Unaffected by shock. This is really cool. It's like a Gladiator Bleed Explosion type effect, but it's lightning damage. The animation is the same as the Bleed Explosion, but, like, it might get an actual animation at some point. I really like this item. I think it's very interesting, allowing us to get a new type of explosion on death. I think we have fire from like Infernal Blow, and we have fizz from Bleed Explosions, but we don't have the other ones yet. So that's awesome. Invictus Solaris and Vix Lunaris. These two go together. If you actually vendor these two with a fusing, you get a combined shield that is not even on this list. It's a recipe, but. And then you get the effect of 20 Fire Aegis and 20 Cold Aegis, which is pretty nice. Oh, we got here Memory Vault, Praetor Crown, lots of ES, mana regen, mana reserved, gain armor equal to your reserved mana. Interesting for like maybe a Guardian mana tank type thing. If you wanted to stack armor, I guess we go Aegis with it. Whatever. Ironheart, armor move speed, block, cannot block spells, strength damage bonus instead grants 3% melee fizz damage for 10 strength. Normally it's 1%. Really strong then. It's like a triple effect. Say you had 500 strength, which is not uncommon for melee builds. That would be, oh god, math. 100%? It would become 300%? That's a lot of skill points. Doesn't have life. Doesn't have resist, but that's a lot of damage. I don't know, it's okay. Probably gonna be vendor trash. Callista's Grace, 18 faster casting. In ES life, 2% base crit when you spend a total of 800 mana. I think this was in a previous one. Spending 800 mana is actually really, really hard. You effectively have to be a miner to do that. and you're gonna have to be like mind over matter type build, because that's a lot. That's more mana pool than most builds have. I don't really like that item. But 2% base crit is a lot as well. I don't know. That's more than you get by being assassin. Leper's Alms. Evasion, life, duration of ailments, 4 chance to block shared suffering. Shared suffering, sorry. I'm not 100% sure what that does. I think it means when you have a ailment on it, you can inflict it on other things. So if you're shocked, you shock. But it seems pretty bad. If it has 3D art, sure, but if it doesn't, it's bad. Nebulock. This is the new Brutus Led Sprinkler. It's got good PDPS, it gains physical as extra fire, chaos res per endurance, reduced elemental damage taken when hit per endurance, physical damage per endurance, 500 armor per endurance, and 400 fire damage taken per second per endurance if you have been hit recently. So if you stack this, for example, if you use this weapon plus a Brutus Led Sprinkler in your offhand, and it's just stacked like 1,000 strength, you would do a lot of damage. A lot of damage. And at that point, I don't know, maybe you could use this is a stat stick, because the added damage might be global, I'm not sure. It's interesting, but that's a lot of fire damage taken per second. I think the maximum endurance you can get is like 11, so that'd be 4,400 fire damage per second. I don't know, it's interesting. I want to see what people do with this thing. I believe that's an Elder drop as well. Oscarm, this is, I believe, Xenocide Genius's supporter unique. Accuracy rating, life, chaos res, dodge spell, curse enemies with assassin's mark on hit, increased attack crit per 200 accuracy rating. So if you're like a Juggernaut stacking accuracy for the attack speed per accuracy, you would also use this if you wanted to go crit. You could also use Obscurantis to get projectile attack damage per accuracy thing. You could have like, I don't know, 5,000, 10,000 accuracy, go crit ranged Juggernaut, curse on hit, I don't know, it's weird. It's a weird pair of gloves. Negative chaos res is kind of weird. I don't know. It's okay. Ralakash's Impatience. Frenzy endurance or power charge once per second while you are stationary. Lose all charges when you move. But like, why? Okay, that's bad. Soul's Wick. +2 Spectre. Sorry. Reduced mana cost of raised specters. Specters have 1,000% increased crit strike chance. Base duration of 20 seconds. Do not travel between areas. Okay. So convert your specters from like permanent bonuses to you have to keep summoning them over and over, and it gives them crit, so you can play crit minions. I believe most skills in this game have around a 5% base crit, so this would give you 25% base crit on a specter. I don't, this is an interesting one. It's a totally different departure from what you normally would play on a specter character, but yeah, I don't know, maybe we'll see a crit specter build. We'll talk to Gazzy about that one. Golden Rule, armor while bleeding. Wow, armor while bleeding. Bleeding you inflict is reflected to you. Chaos res per poison on you, poison you inflict is reflected. That's just terrible. Okay, Storm Charger, we've talked about this one. It's just lightning, physical lightning conversion on a pair of boots. Interesting. Hungry Loop we've talked about. You can have a pseudo 5-link. So put Kinetic Blast in the actual ring and then consume, say, GMP, increased crits, added lightning, added cold. That'd be a 5-link without quality, basically, in your ring, which is pretty cool. Long Winter. This is the Glacial Cascade threshold. Gets an extra burst. Sure. Poet's Pen. This seems to be a pretty big favor right now. Huge leveling item. Requires level 12. You can use it up to level 100. It gets bonuses per level. I think this thing's really good. You can dual wield them, like go KB, and have like a 6-link KB in your chest. And then 2 of these with 3 links in each, just vomiting spells. It's like the old Shatter Chuck builds, which were cast on Crit Barrage. And you just vomit out spells. This one's like the same concept, but it's got a cooldown internally, which is kind of annoying. Twilight Temple, I haven't run this map yet. It's a new unique map. It's got Fanatics, Lunaris, and Solaris. Should be fun to run. Yoke of Suffering. All res, reduced duration of ailments, chance of shock. Enemies take increased damage for each type of ailment you inflicted on them. Your LE damage can shock. That's pretty good. A bunch of enemies take increased damage. Say you had like Shock Freeze Ignite on an enemy, that's 15% increase. That's 15% more damage, which is pretty good for an amulet. Doesn't have life though, it doesn't have ES. Seems okay though. Seems like it's okay. Watcher's Eye. This thing, I believe, was changed. Unless there's an upgraded form of it. I've seen a different version of this that had increased life recovery rate while equipped, right? Or while affected by vitality. Maybe that's a different version of it. But basically that's a more multiplier to how much life regen you have. So say you're RF or low life RF, you have 2k regen, you get one of these equipped, you have 20 to 30% more regen. It's got ES life mana on it, chance to block spells. Like it's got a lot of good stats on it. Tomb Fist, 2 abyssal sockets, attack speed, life, intimidate on hit, maim on hit. Intimidate on hit is 10% increased damage taken from attacks. Maim is slow. I think this is pretty good. 2 abyssal sockets is really powerful because you could have 2 jewels that are like 50 life, flat fizz, attack speed, onslaught, or something crazy like that, plus 2 normal links. These have a lot of potential. We talked about that one. Volcanus. I haven't seen this one yet. Attacks with this weapon deal added fire damage to bleeding enemies, added physical to ignited enemies, add chance to inflict bleeding against ignited enemies. Every 8 seconds gain Avatar of Fire for 4 seconds, increase crit while you have Avatar Fire. Fizz to fire while you have... This is a lot of words. Increase armor when you don't have Avatar of Fire. I think they're trying to implement a lot of like alternating type things where you get bonuses every couple seconds, then it switches to something else. I like the concept of that a lot because it allows you to have variable play. You do one thing for a little bit, then you swap, and you swap back. This is just weird though. It's 100% fire conversion for your fizz attacks every 4 seconds, every 8 seconds, sorry. That's just strange. I don't know how I feel about it. White Wind we've seen before. It's just a pure cold damage dagger, but you have to have it in one hand and an empty offhand, which I don't really like. It's weird. I don't like it. Wraithlord. We've talked about that one. It's terrible. Belt Timber Blade. What is this one? Is this the same as this one? Are these like you dual wield them? Phase attack speed, evasion raging, additional projectiles used a movement skill recently, far shot. Yeah, so I think you're supposed to dual wield these. So you get bonuses if you like attack back. And why are these not grouped together? They have the same graphic, just slightly different colors. So if you used both of them, you would get 4 projectiles. Point blank, iron reflexes, and far shot. It looks like they're about the same DPS, 250, 300 DPS. Interesting. I would dual wield those. 4 projectiles, seems good. Light Poacher. This thing is currently being abused to hell. It's like the new Vol Fireball in a helmet. It's got an abyssal socket. It triggers level 20 Spirit Burst, which is like an AoE Vol Fireball thing, except for its fizz damage. Gives you all res, recover % life when a spirit charge expires or consumed. You gain spirit charges on kill, and you get +1 maximum per abyss jewel. So if you have like 10 abyss jewels, you get like a lot of those, and then you just vomit out spirit bursts constantly while you're clearing maps, and it just aids in your clear speed. It's a really good helm. I'm seeing a lot of people using this, especially. Giant Spade, we've talked about this one, I think. It's just like Iron Grip, which no one cares about. Onsmite's old. They changed this a bunch. It used to be way different, but they made it a little bit better. Now it's got, what, 300 DPS, crit, AoE, 50% multi while you have no frenzy charges, plus accuracy while you have maximum frenzy charges. That's I would rather it be swapped multi while at maximum frenzy charges, but because it's really hard to have no frenzy charges constantly. I don't know, it's kind of cool. This is another, I think these are both Elder items. Hope Shredder, cold damage, movement speed per frenzy charge, accuracy, cold damage per frenzy charge. Okay, so this is like Whispering Ice style thing, where you just stack frenzies and you get a bunch of cold damage. Avoid elemental damage when hit per frenzy. I think you get 10, so that's 20% chance to avoid damage entirely. Attack damage leeches life, that would be 5%. You get 40% move speed. A ton of extra cold damage on a high cold damage weapon already. 400 cold damage taken per second per frenzy charge while moving. Okay. So this is like the same as this thing. You burn, and this one you freeze to death. That's weird. I don't know. This is interesting, though. For like Ice Shot characters, or like Tornado Shot maybe, some really fast clear speed type build, where you stop to attack. I can see this being pretty cool, but that's a lot of cold damage per second. 4,000 cold per second at maximum frenzies. With 75% resist, that'd be 1,000 cold damage per second. That's a lot of damage to mitigate. You'd have to leech through it constantly. Maybe if you're a Slayer. Slayer bow characters are pretty good. You could probably out-leech the degen. Shimmeron Tornado Wand. I haven't seen this one. Spell damage. Lightning dispels. 10% multi per power charge. Base crit per power charge. A chance to block spells per power charge. Adds lightning dispels per power charge. Lightning damage taken per second. If you've dealt crit recently. See, again, it's another burn yourself to death. All 3 elements now. That's a lot of fucking damage, though. You can get 10, 11 power charges, I think. That's 100 to 120% ulti in base crit. that seems really, really powerful, but also very dangerous, which just seems to be the theme of all of the Elder weapons. Darkness and Throne, Stygian Vice, +1 Abyssal Socket. 50% increased effective socket jewels. That's really, really strong. You can have 2 insane DPS jewels in here. And get 50% multiplier to them. Okay. Pretty simple. I like it. Lots of damage. Blasphemer's Grasp. Dex, life, damage with ailments per Elder item equipped. Maximum life per Elder item equipped. Okay, so you just okay, sure. You equip all the Elder items. I think you can have all of them, right? That's weird. I don't... it feels like it's a set. I don't like sets in PoE. D3 kind of ruined sets for me. Diablo 2 was better at sets. You would have like 1 or 2 pieces max. Not all of them. This feels like you have to have all of them. And I don't like that. Shroud of the Lightless. Abyssal Socket. Level 20 Ele Pen. Level 20 Elemental Penetration. It's not a specific one. It's for all elements. Okay. Chance to trigger a Shade form when you use Socketed Skill. Life mana. Maximum life per Abyss. Maximum mana per Abyss. What's Shade form? I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. I'm pretty happy with like all of these. This one's really good. This one's really good. This one's interesting. A lot of these are just very interesting. This is really good. I guess I'm gonna have to cut the video here though. I was gonna do a bunch of news posts at once, but this one's going on for a little too long. So I guess you guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, leave a like, leave a comment on which one you think is your favorite, whatever. I'll see you guys on Twitch or the next YouTube video. And as always, big thanks to my Patreons for supporting the channel and the dream. But that'll be Demi out. I'll see you in the next video.